Hello, welcome to Worthy Wednesday. I'm late a little. Happy to see you guys. Y'all, it was 102 today. All right, anyway, we have not cooled off yet. I feel like people are saying it's getting cooler, it's getting cooler. Personally, me, y'all know I want it to be hot all the time. So, it was 102, and even I said it was hot today. But welcome to Worthy Wednesday. I hope you're having a great day. I want to, y'all, what was I going to say? I want to tell y'all something. Anyway, I can't remember, so I need to move on from that. But welcome to Worthy Wednesday. This year, 2025, is the year of everyday miracles. And I thought it would be really cool for me to talk about something that I think is not considered, that is not considered when you're talking about miracles, or even if you're talking about just regular things that you do in your life every single day. So I want to talk about miracle belief. Now, there was a time back in the day, probably 4 years ago, when we talked about our belief system, meaning what are the thoughts that we think, what are the actions that we have put in place, what are the memories and the schemas that we have pulled to frontal lobe memory in order to execute things that we actually believe. Now, believe is the act of believing, okay? Believe. But belief are the actual elements of what you believe, okay? So I thought it would be really important for me to talk about this, because a lot of times we walk around saying that we believe something, which that means I'm actively engaged, I'm actively pursuing what it is that you've told me. But in reality, I really don't believe it. Okay, I don't. I am saying one thing with my mouth, but in my heart, I'm totally thinking and acting and living in another space. And so for me, this is something that I have thought about. And I think at oftentimes in my life, I have actually struggled with belief. Like, I think that overall, I have a belief system that allows me to believe in God, that allows me to be positive, that allows me to believe in my ability to change things. Like, I would say overall I have a pretty positive belief system. But then there are certain areas in my life where I know that I have a struggle with my belief, meaning that the way that I have encountered life, because life comes to everyone, it doesn't matter who you are, but the way that I have encountered life has altered the way that I actually have belief about certain things. Now, when you're going to talk about saying I have a miracle belief, what you're actually telling yourself is, I have the thoughts, I have the tools, I have everything that I need in order to understand that what is going to occur should occur. Right now, I don't want you to think that this is magic, because it isn't. Okay, like, belief system is what governs your life. Whatever you really believe in your mind, because of the beliefs that you have already established, that is the thing that you do. So let me just give you a practical example. If you, for example, have never flown on a plane, and then you get the opportunity to fly on a plane, if your belief system tells you that it's dangerous, that you shouldn't do it, that you might panic, that you could throw up, that you will be uncomfortable the whole time, your belief system will then inform the rest of your body that we should not go get on an airplane. Now, what you can do is inform your belief system with statistical facts. Well, not so much recently, but in the history of aviation, flying is by far the safest, most effective, and fastest way to travel anywhere. It's a great experience. You do experience cabin pressure. Your ears can pop, but you can chew gum for that. There is a lot of gravity as you take off, but that feels weird and it's kind of fun, right? Your belief system prepares you for what you are about to do. And I am learning that what I actually have belief about changes what I see in my life. Let me give you another example. When you are a teacher, okay, and I have lived that life for a very long time, but when you are a teacher, your belief system about discipline and how your classroom will be managed affects your teaching ability. If you have kids, no matter if they're kindergarten or 12th grade, if you have students that are not respectful of boundaries, if they are not respectful of time, if they're not respectful of giving one person the opportunity to speak versus them, if they are not respectful of the policies and the practices that you have implemented from the first day of school, then your belief system will tell you that you are not doing well as a teacher, that your classroom management or your classroom order is lacking, and therefore that's why you're having difficulty achieving what the curriculum requires you to achieve. So in relationship to miracles, what is my actual belief? See, I think a lot of us would say that miracles can be spontaneous, and they are sometimes. And I don't mean spontaneous in their appearance. I mean that the arrival of them can be like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. That was great, right? But your belief system is not spontaneous. It is actually curated. You have done the work for the beliefs that you actually have right now. If you don't believe that you can come out of a situation, whether it's negative or positive, you have already told yourself that you don't have what it takes to come out of that. If you have a belief system that tells you that other people are smarter than me, other women are prettier than me, their husbands treat them better than my husband, you can literally alter your life because of what your belief system tells you. Like, to me, it's almost like when we talked about the mind and the mouth connection, like what the mind thinks the mouth says, which is 100% true, and also what the heart believes the mouth also says. So I find it interesting when people tell me that, you can just change your confession, which is true. You can change it, and you can start saying things that are not ingrained in your head or in your heart. But does that change anything? I'm here to tell you the answer to that is no. Okay? Because a belief system takes time to build, because you have to have experiences, you have to have activities, you have to have knowledge in order to formulate these thoughts and these memories in your head that you now govern your life by. So if I am looking for and expecting to experience miracles every day, what do I really have a belief about miracles? Do I have a belief system concerning miracles that it's only, once in a blue moon, once every other year, once every 5 years, once every 10 years, or maybe just once in my entire life? Because if that's what I truly have a belief system concerning, then I won't even have the ability to examine, see, or perceive a miracle that comes into my life, because my belief system says, oh, it's not time for that. It'll be in 5 years from now. You can actually start having a belief system. You can start changing your mind. You can start changing your thoughts. You can start changing your habits and practices in order to experience a miracle. It's almost like kids, okay? When kids are born, they're pretty interdependent. They need you for pretty much everything. But every month they become stronger and more independent until they're able to walk, they're able to go to the restroom, they're able to dress themselves, brush their teeth, wash their face. And it is a journey, right? But you have to have the belief system knowing that an infant will only be an infant, right, for 4 to 5 months or 9 months or 1 year, however long you want to say infancy is. I don't know, right? Then you have to understand that your baby becomes a toddler, but the baby won't be a toddler forever. They'll be a toddler, 2, 3, 4, and then they become school-aged, and then they become elementary, then middle, then high, then college. So your belief system has to give you the assurance that what you know about your present reality will not always be. Holy crap, y'all. Hold on. If you understand that your belief system can alter your thought process and alter what you experience in your life, I think the question for me is, why aren't we doing this more often than we are? And I'm telling you, the reason is because, well, first, I think just in general, people are lazy and we don't want to stop doing something that we're already not supposed to be doing, because then that would require for me to do the work and be accountable. But the second reason why I think that we don't do that is because we are scared to admit that our version of reality has caused us to shrink back and be in fear and not respond to life the way that we knew that we could respond to it, because my belief system told me, well, this is exactly what reality is, and it wasn't. I digress from that, because I can't even keep saying that to myself. I got to move on. Y'all, so I'm asking us tonight to really consider, what is my belief system regarding my real life? What do I have a belief about myself? Do I believe that I'm wonderful? Do I believe that I'm faithful? Do I believe that I'm worthy? Do I believe that I'm strong? Do I believe that I'm beautiful? Do I believe that I'm capable? Do I believe that I can lead? Do I believe that I can become what I dreamed of becoming? And it's not... What we have to understand, worthy women, is that believing is the act of my belief. So whatever my belief system is currently in my head, And in my heart, that is what I'm acting out in my life. If I am crashing out, as the kids say, if I am freaking out, if I am becoming a recluse, if I am isolating, these are the things that I already have in my belief system. That's why I'm acting them out. It is not strange to me when we see people performing in a theater, right? That makes sense because they're actors, they're trained, and they practice to portray characters in order for us to understand the story that's happening right before our eyes. But in reallife.com, we are the characters, like for real. I am a character in my own life. You are a character in your own life. So we cannot pretend for other people that are in our lives that we don't have frustration, that we don't have pain, that we don't have stress, that we don't have guilt, that we don't have discouragement, because all of those things are a part of real life. But what we can do is change my belief system in order to deal with reality. Sometimes one day could be supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and the next day can be terrible. Okay, for real. That's how life happens. But a lot of my response to that, because we talked about the difference between reacting and responding, a lot of my response to that is based on what my belief system is. If something happens, if my kid does something to get on my nerve, if my husband, if my coworker, if my colleague, if the grocery store clerk, if someone driving who should not have a license gets on my nerves, what does my belief system actually tell me to do? What is the response that it tells me to have in that moment of reality? I am here to tell you right now that most of our belief systems are telling us to react, not to respond. We are reacting to everything that is happening in our lives. We're reacting to it. We're not even living. We are just ding dang reacting to everything that is happening over and over and over and over and over again. I'm screaming, I'm yelling, I'm crying. I'm screaming, I'm yelling, I'm crying. I'm angry, I'm depressed, I'm out. I'm angry, I'm depressed, I'm out. My belief system, when life is happening in reality, is telling me, okay, well, just freak out. And I'm like, okay, so I start doing that because those things are already inside of my head and inside of my heart. So there's no space for me to have a different belief system, and there's no way for me to have a miracle belief, because I already am telling you, based on my actions, this is how I'm going to react. This is how I'm going to respond to everything that I already have in my beliefs. I believe that I'm crazy, so I'm going to act crazy. I believe that I'm tired all the time, so I'm going to be exhausted all the time. I believe that I'm not friendly, so I don't have friends. And I am really working personally on myself in this area, because sometimes I think we can, and maybe y'all don't do this, but maybe I just do this. I have always had a belief system about myself that I could do pretty much anything. Like, if you can set it before me, I'm going to learn it and I'm going to master it and I'm going to do it well. Like, it will be freaking excellent if you give it to me. But I have told you several times that sometimes life has a way of redirecting, whether or not that's false belief, I'm not sure. Could be just a little bit of pride, and I'm all right with that. But sometimes life has a way of redirecting you so you can actually get to the heart of the matter. And what I mean by that is to get to the heart of you. Like, what do I really believe about myself? What are the beliefs I tell myself every day about myself? Do I say that I'm strong? Do I say that I'm capable? Do I say that I'm a good learner? Do I say that I'm a great friend? Do I say that I'm a magnificent mother? Do I say I'm a beautiful wife? What do I really have a belief about myself? See, I think if we can understand how powerful our beliefs are, miracles are inevitable. See, it's almost like the two things go together. Not like they do, okay? Duh. Because if I can understand what my belief tells me, then I can see a miracle in my life. And I won't just see it in one particular area. I will see it constantly, and it will be an overflow of miracles that I can experience every single day, because my belief agrees. It agrees with what miracles are, which we learned way back in, I don't know what month, January or February, that miracles are spontaneous events or times or things that happen, obviously with divine intervention, but there is no explanation for how those elements come together. It is just simply a miracle. But I am here to tell you tonight, worthy women, that if you would begin to examine what your belief system is, you would begin to see that your life indeed is a miracle. even the things that you have had to walk through, even if those things have been difficult or challenging, whether it's with your health, with your children, with your children's health, with your husband or his health, with your family, your immediate family and extended, the things that you have experienced, I am telling you right now, the reason why you have not seen a difference in your life, or it's like you can't, sometimes we say it's like we can't come up for air, like life just keeps throwing me under the wave and I can't get up. And I am here to tell you, because I've lived long enough, long enough to know that my belief system dictates what I see. If my belief system is always about negative things or shortcomings or shortfalls or not enough or incomplete, I only see that in front of me. I only see that around me. I only hear that. I only speak that. I can only have a belief about something that is truly connected to me. So if my head is saying one thing and my heart is saying another thing, my mouth won't speak anything because it's confused, because it's like, well, which one do we really stand by? Is it this or is it that? And I think we have to be aware that a miracle and miracle belief causes us to live, think, speak, and act differently. At first I thought there was really no relationship between miracle and belief. Like, to be honest, like when I was thinking about it and preparing it, I was like, I really feel like these two things don't go together. But the more that I examined it, I realized that when people experience miracles, their belief system changes. And the thing that really struck me is that after a miracle has occurred, most people begin to change their belief to expect another one. So instead of them saying, oh my gosh, well, we don't have money, or we need this, or this was terrible, I'm kind of stressed out about this or that, what happens is that people begin to say, no, like, look what just happened. Like, we could probably experience something else just like this again. Like, we've got to believe. We've got to change what we think. We've got to change what we see. We've got to change how we see it. So I honestly understand that how to do something is by far the most, at time, aloof concept that is ever discussed. And I'm really confused by that. Like, I don't know why people don't tell you how to do stuff. That's weird. I mean, when it comes to making recipes and stuff, yeah, we'll give you all the instructions and tell you how to do it. But when it comes to being a champion in life, I feel like people gatekeep. I think that it becomes almost like a hot commodity to know something that could literally change the trajectory of someone else's life, and we just hold it. Anyway, I hate that about America when we do those things. But how do I change my belief system? Okay, I'm going to tell you two things that you can do that are very simple. Number one, pick one area where you want to change your belief system. Okay, Kari, what's a good example? Okay, I'm going to say a good example for me is thoughts about what I'm going to do next in my real life. Okay, because I don't really know what I want to do next after this and after teaching and all these things. I'm like, I want to do something. I just don't know what it is. Okay, that's the first thing you do. So pick an area that you want to change your belief system about. The second thing that you have to do, how do you do that? Well, I like to write things, because if I can see something, then I can be like, oh, okay, this is how I need to go about it. But what I mean is that I want you to, after you identify that area, then say, how do my beliefs currently agree with this statement? So let me tell you, I really don't know what I want to be, right? Okay. I have always wanted to go back to law school, which, y'all, I've got all my stuff together but I haven't really done anything, which is really depressing sometimes. But I know that I have what it takes to go to law school, but the belief system that I need to challenge in this area is what stops me from applying. Like, I have all the information in the little LSAC thing that you have to make, and then you hit, you put the schools you want to apply to, then you hit send, and then it's like it uses one credentialing system. So I have all that stuff together. So the question I've been asking myself is, how come I don't want to complete the process? So I'm telling you, what I have been doing with that is just writing down why I don't want to complete it. Well, the first thing I wrote down is I really don't want to learn right now. The second thing I wrote is, it's going to be a lot of studying, right? The third thing I learned is, how am I going to support? I wrote down was like, how am I going to support myself? Because that's a real life issue, right? Like, I'm not 21 anymore going back to college. Like, I'm 47 going back to college. So I'm like, I have to work. I need to eat. I need to have somewhere to live. Like, so these are the things that I looked at. So then I started examining, well, what do I really believe? What is my belief about this? Do I have a belief that I could be successful? And I examine that. Yes. Do I have a belief that I could get in? Yes. Do I have a belief that I could get a scholarship to pay for it? Yes. But where the unbelief for me was, is I'm like, well, how am I going to take care of myself? And that one incident, or that one, object or whatever, is the thing where I said, okay, this is where I need to change my belief. I need to be proactive. First of all, after I've narrowed it down to the schools I really want to go to, I need to then look at the cost of living. I need to then look at, okay, where could I work, right? So I'm telling you how to do it. Just first, identify one area. Like, don't pick 10, okay? If you're like me, I can pick 20 at once, and then I'm kind of sort of I'm not overwhelmed. I just become uninterested. Legit, okay? So pick one area that you want to see if your belief system is in agreement with you experiencing everyday miracles. And then number 2, write down what your beliefs are about that thing. Like, for example, if you want to lose weight, okay, let's just say that's the first thing you write down. Like, I want to lose weight. Okay, fine. How are you going to go about doing that? Do not write exercise. Do not write that. Because that is a stupid answer, and everybody says that. You need to write down what is practical for you. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what's practical for me. I like to go on and walk at least 1.5 miles. It takes me about 40 minutes. I committed to doing that 3 times a week. That's what I wrote. I was like, I need to walk because I can do that. So I do my best to walk between 6 and 7, right? At least 3 times a week. Now, I did not stress what days I walk because I don't care. Just as long as I commit to 3 times a week. So if I can identify that I can lose weight by walking, I've already identified how to lose weight by walking. So now the focus does not have to be on losing weight. The focus is now on walking. Then the next thing I want to do is learn about weights, weight training and all that stuff. That's my next goal, right? But I'm just giving you a practical example how to do and how to examine your belief system. Y'all, I'm telling you right now, miracles will start slapping you everywhere when you can properly identify your belief system about areas in your life where you have failed to believe. And that's good. Like, that's good. Anyway, I love y'all. I'll see you next week.